From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
A Lincoln community is grappling with another tragic domestic violence case. Last week, a murder-suicide claimed 2 lives, adding to a disturbing trend in the city this year. 1011's Sam Cobb joins us live in the newsroom. He's been speaking with authorities and advocates who say this trend must end. Sam.
Danielle, so far this year, 3 Lincoln women have already lost their lives in murder-suicides. Today, LPD acknowledging the recent rise in severe domestic violence incidents and identifying the latest victim. According to police, officers entered the home of 51-year-old Sterling Jordan on Friday morning after multiple calls when he did not show up for work on Thursday. Inside, they found both Jordan and his girlfriend, 51-year-old Jennifer MacArthur, dead. MacArthur suffered multiple gunshot wounds, and Jordan had 1 gunshot to the head. Chief Mashawn Morrow calling it a senseless act of violence and one that has become all too common recently. Local advocacy groups hoping that this latest tragedy sheds light on resources available to victims of abuse.
These are not isolated incidents, and they reflect a painful and urgent truth. Violence at the home, often behind closed doors, must stop.
Some studies that have been done here locally that have stated that we need an additional 35 to 45 domestic violence shelter beds in our city. So that is something that Friendship Home's continuing to think of, is how are we going to be able to provide what our city needs.
MacArthur's daughter also provided a statement to LPD which read in part, quote, "I share my mom's story not just to honor her, but to shed a light on the reality of domestic violence. If her story can help even one woman find the strength to leave before it's too late, then her memory will continue to protect and inspire others," end quote. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and anyone experiencing abuse can reach out to LPD's Victim Assistance Unit for help with protection orders and legal matters, or contact local resources like Voices of Hope, a 24/7 crisis intervention service, and Friendship Home, a local nonprofit emergency shelter.
Now to a developing story in Omaha, one we first highlighted on our streaming platforms this morning. A police officer is alert and talking after being shot in the head during an altercation at a gas station. The incident happened just after 6 a.m. near 120th and West Dodge Road. Omaha police say they were called about someone acting erratic and aggressive. When officers confronted the person outside the gas station, he shot the officer. These are body cam photos from the incident. The suspect ran from the scene but was located and arrested at a McDonald's about a mile away. Now listen to the call that came in from this morning's scene.
Officer's hit. I'm hit in the head. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance now.
Employees inside the QT called because somebody came in and instantly put them on edge. He was very aggressive. He was erratic. He looked angry, and he was speaking in incoherent terms.
The officer who was shot is a 15-year veteran of the department. The extent of his injuries is unclear, but Omaha's mayor says he's in, quote, good condition. A member of Terrence Crawford's security team is speaking out after both the mayor and police department say nothing was handled incorrectly during the traffic stop over a week ago. OPD says it's considering additional training or policy changes to reflect legal carry laws, but Crawford's team says more needs to be done.
They're going to have to make this right. The community deserves it. The community deserves to feel and see the accountability.
Crawford's team does acknowledge that asking if a person has a legal firearm in the car is a step in the right direction. Turning now to the weather, it's been a dreary Monday with showers on and off all day. Meteorologist Carmelo Latuca joins us now. And Carmelo, should we expect more rain tonight?
We can expect that rain to come to an end this evening, Danielle, and we'll likely see quiet conditions overnight tonight and especially throughout the day tomorrow. And we'll see a lot more sunshine over the next 48 hours as well. But as we take a look at satellite and radar over the last 3 hours, we continue to see some showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder here and there in southeastern Nebraska. That is generally coming to an end, and we'll expect that to move into Iowa as well as in northwestern Missouri over the next few hours or so. But as we take a look at Skycast over the next few hours, notice that activity could still continue in some locations, very spotty in nature, a little misty still. But as we go into the late evening hours, we'll also see decreasing cloud cover. Temperature-wise, we're still in the low 50s at this hour. Not going to warm up any more today. 52 in Lincoln, 56 in Falls City, low 60s to the north, and mid-50s off to our south and west. Overnight tonight, we'll see some chilly temperatures. It'll be seasonal here in Lincoln at 45 degrees. That's certainly cooler compared to what we have seen, and then we could be in the mid to upper 30s in central and western Nebraska. Certainly a shock to the system once again compared to this past weekend.
Now to an update on a story we've been following. The state is working to address a bedbug case in a downtown office building. Today, they're giving us an update on the situation. In a statement to 1011, they said, quote, last week, one bedbug was detected on the 5th floor and one bedbug was detected on the 1st floor of the NSOB building. Team members in the affected areas were temporarily working remotely while treatments took place, end quote. Officials say they have taken immediate action, including spraying the floors after hours and steaming the floors and cubicle walls. The building remains closed out of an abundance of caution. Now today marks 6 days of the government shutdown, and the blame game continues on both sides of the aisle. Nebraska leaders are continuing to express frustration. Congressman Mike Flood tells us Americans will soon start feeling the impact if nothing gets done.
I don't want to find out what the next round of furloughs are going to be. But the reality is when you don't have any money coming into the U.S. government, you can't pay the people to do the jobs. And that is a problem. Listen, I've been in Congress for 3 years. I was a state senator for 10. I've never seen anything so irresponsible during my time in government as a government shutdown.
Now, in response, Nebraska's Democratic Party sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, Mike Flood knows that Nebraskans will be forced to work without pay and has done nothing about it. He can cite all the statistics about its impact on our workers, but he can't even be bothered to stay and help negotiate a bipartisan deal on Capitol Hill. He and Trump have proven that American families are not their priority, end quote. Now, in some fun news before break, kindergartners at Maxey Elementary got a big surprise this afternoon. 24 bikes were donated to their PE class. The donation came from TAP Performance through its All Kids Bike program, which teaches kids the lifelong skill of riding a bike at an early age. The Strider bikes come without training wheels or pedals, allowing kids to move themselves around with just their legs to practice balance. Once ready, the bikes can be fitted with pedals to take the next step.
You get a very wide range. From the kids that obviously are very confident on them and they're zipping around, and then you see the kids that this is maybe a newer experience for them, where they're a little bit more timid, a little bit shy, but as they make a few laps, their confidence grows, and you can kind of see them that smile.
TAP Performance says this is their second Strider bike donation to a school, and they hope to give more in the future.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.